What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Hold the Husband Podcast. I'm your host, Terry Duran. I got both of my co-hosts on the line with me. I got my man, Jay. What's going on, man?
Not much, man. Looking forward to trending topics and everything we got stored for tonight. But want to quickly remind you, you can catch us on Grind City TV Tuesday nights, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Also, be sure to follow us on TikTok at Hold the Husband Podcast, as well as subscribe to us on YouTube at Hold the Husband Podcast. Be sure to hit the red notification bell, like, subscribe, share it on your social media. All right, T.
I also have my other co-host on the line. I got my man, SD. What's up with you, man?
Nothing, man. I'm ready to get into this one. It's right up my alley of hope.
Already
itching for this one. But I want to give a shout out to Brother Soul Productions for always keeping the background audio fresh. And I want to remind you all to donate to the Hold the Husband Podcast on Cash App and PayPal.
I want to remind everybody, y'all can catch the audio playback of the podcast every Monday afternoon at 4 p.m. Central Standard Time on thecore94.com. Tonight's episode is titled Don't Hate the Player, where we'll be having a discussion about the things that make men successful with women. But before we get into our topic of the night, y'all know how we do it around here. We like to discuss things that we've seen trending on social media or on our timelines. So we got a couple of interesting videos. One of a friend of the show went viral. Better Love Movement put out a viral video talking about attention, and it got picked up by all the big guys. Let's take a listen to what she said.
Y'all, please help me to understand why attention is the new currency for women. So regardless of whether you have a man at home, whether you have a family at home, whether you have the job of your dreams, the house of your dreams, the car of your dreams, apparently none of that compares to you posting on Instagram or Facebook, twerking, dancing on tables, drinking, getting liquor porn into your open mouth, taking pictures with your tongue out, going around half dressed. Like, help me to make it make sense. Since when did attention trump self-respect? Since when does getting attention from strangers trump the love and the respect and the honor of being with a good man?
Now, we talk about this stuff all the time, man. Like, men pay attention to a woman's mindset. Her behavior and her decision making is a reflection of her value system. And so most guys would not wife a chick that show her ass on the gram and like she lived the type of lifestyle she described, where everything that she portrays to the public is partying, turning up, or sex. That's gonna get you a lot of casual dating and a lot of DMs where dudes are trying to, what's your quote? Feed them to the mattress.
Feed them to the mattress.
But that's about it, right?
For the most part, I mean, most men, you know what I'm saying. A lot of men offer that anyway. But when you start showing off your titties and your booty and your twerking and all this here, it's gonna ramp up times 10. But the women know that. They know it. But the attention, like she said, nowadays the attention is more important than anything in the world. You know what I'm saying?
And it's not just women, though. It's not just women. It's the same thing with guys. They got to show their guns. They got to talk about their crimes. It's like
they watch and they change.
Telling on yourself, basically.
Yeah, but man, when it comes to, but see, for the dating aspect of it, men show off to get easy women. Men ain't showing off typically to try to get a wife. Dudes ain't holding money up to their ear. You know what I'm saying? It's just right. Men ain't holding money up to their ear trying to get a wife. They just trying to get some quick hoes, right? Women will show off their titties and their camel toe and still consider themselves wife material.
That's crazy. Yep.
But every woman views herself that way. Like no woman is gonna be like, man, I'm a thought. I'm not wifeable. You know what I'm saying? Like they're never gonna say it like that.
Exactly.
Man, but they don't. That's because women don't think like men think. Like Alexis Sky said, I'm not a girlfriend, I'm a wife. She posted it on social media. And
Wow.
all dudes is looking, how you find like that? Your body like that. But you gotta beg and put yourself out there and try to convince people you're a wife. Why? Because you be on the internet naked for attention. Nobody believes you. Will you get billion likes? Yep.
Yep.
Will you get a billion comments? Yep. But you can't get a ring, and that's what they don't understand.
But
everything they do has consequences to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh.
As Nasty, I want to touch on your point. It's the million likes and comments is what they're chasing after.
Absolutely.
That's really
because it can get monetized.
Yep, exactly. That's where I was going with that too. So that's why they put such an emphasis and such a premium on attention over the other stuff, over things that's substance. You know, nowadays, especially, you know, with Instagram and TikTok, you can promote your OnlyFans on there or Snapchat. And like, especially during the pandemic, they became de facto porn sites.
Yeah, I mean, but it don't even have to be porn, right? There are a lot of women that they have their clothes on, they respectable, they have professions or whatever, but their brand is built about how fine they are. Like you can just look at their page and every picture is shown with the angles that show her ass, to show she's fine. And that's great. We love y'all. We love the content. But we talk about how men pre-screen women all the time. And it's the same way with women. The very first thing you're going to do when you meet a dude is go to his Instagram. You're going to go to his social media. And you're going to at least get a glimpse of what type of person he's at least portraying himself to be. And if you are a woman of a certain caliber, there are going to be certain men that are going to be immediately a no-go for you, even if they have money or even if they're attractive.
Exactly. Man, SP will resonate. You say this all the time, that your Instagram page is basically your resume. When a guy's looking, you know, to potentially date a woman, he's going to look at her Instagram page, and if he sees a bunch of half-naked pictures doing stuff for attention, that's going to raise a red flag.
It sure will. That's the first thing I go look at. Because if I was just looking to smash the chicks, cool.
Yep.
I don't
care.
Matter. I don't care what you do. You can be naked all you want. I want you to be a hoe. I want you to be a hoe.
Men love hoes.
Yeah, men love hoes to have sex with. We want you to be a hoe. We want you to show your body and be out here all sexual, because that's all we want for you anyway. But when I'm looking for a woman, somebody that I might want to give my last name to, and I go to your page and I can see your titties, I can see your whole booty hole on your page. Guess what? Listen, I like titties and camel toes like any other man. I'm gonna tap it. I'm gonna double tap it because I like titties and I'm single. But I will not take you to my family reunion because you don't respect yourself enough not to be out here naked. I can't give you my last name. Ain't no way.
Because your woman's a reflection of you, bro.
Of you.
Absolutely.
Right. And when the attention means more to you than your self-respect, you aren't wife material. It's just that simple. Not for a man when modesty is supposed to be a trait of a wife for a man. Being modest and being, you know what I'm saying, well, you ain't showing everybody too much. That's for your husband. If that ain't a quality that you have, you ain't wife material. You are mattress material. And that's how most of them get treated. That's what it is.
Oh man, well I know she hurt a lot of feelings with her post. And you see a lot of women in the comments, you know, clap back and all this type of stuff. But it's the reality, like it's unnecessary. It's just as unnecessary of the guys that are flashing the money or whatnot. You don't have to do that to get women.
Exactly. One comment that stood out to me, one woman said, she's like, oh, well, she was old enough to remember the Girls Gone Wild era. So somebody said, but it's the same thing, for attention.
I mean, but the difference is the Girls Gone Wild era and things in the past didn't connect to you as a person. You know what I mean? Like, it might not show your government name. It might not show, you know what I'm saying, like your personal information for everybody. But if you are dating somebody and they know you in real life and you tell them, hey, this is my social media, well, then it is connected to you. And anybody that you're going to be dating or fucking, that's going to come up. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, like I said, I don't know any guys that would seriously date a porn star or take strippers seriously, etc. the dudes that do, we laugh at. You know what I'm saying? Like that's not the move, because all that comes with it. You know what I'm saying? Like that's not the person you want to build your life with and have be the main source of training you and teaching your kids.
Yeah, you know what, man, that really sticks out to me is that a lot of women nowadays, you see them talk about how they want men to lead, right? Be leaders nowadays, right? Well, you know, men that are leaders can talk to their women and tell them certain things, and they women listen to it and be like, hey, okay, this is for the betterment of us as people, right? This is what men want. But see, nowadays, when people, whether it's a man or a woman saying something that they don't like, you can't tell them anything to try to correct their behavior. That's the part.
No.
Even though the outcomes that so many of these women are getting from it is not the one that they long for and desire, which is marriage and a family, right? They're not getting those outcomes like they used to back in the 50s and 60s and stuff like that. And when you try as a man of value or a woman of value to try to correct the behavior so that they can get those outcomes they claim they want so bad, you get insulted, you get shamed, and you just get talked about and sometimes canceled depending on what you say. And that's why so many women are in the position that they are in, having to do everything by themselves because they don't want to listen.
And they hate that. They hate it.
Yeah. They don't want to listen to the very
but you know what's crazy? They want a man to finance everything. They want a man to accept the danger. They want a man to put up with their negative traits and their negative behavior, but they don't want to listen to anything. Like why would a man in that position sign up for that unless he was just a simp or lame?
Right. They want a guy to be a leader when it's convenient for them, when it benefits them. Absolutely. But when it doesn't, then that's not what they want.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sure.
You are a boy. You a boy if you ain't talking about what they want you to talk about. And for men of value and quality men out here that actually know their place out here and know their position and got something going for themselves and are mentally there, that don't work for those types of dudes. It just don't. Those types of men gonna leave you alone. I won't even smash a chick like that. You ain't even worth it. You ain't even worth getting fed to the mattress. I'm not even gonna waste my time on you. So,
but a lot of guys aren't coming from your perspective though. You have had lots of success with women, so you don't have to do the unnecessary stuff. You don't have to do the extremes. Just like a lot of these women, they go to these extremes because they feel like they're competing with one another, and in large part they are. But the problem is they're using the wrong weapons. Like everybody got an ass and a pussy. I don't know why they don't understand that. Like if you can separate yourself with your personality or your mindset, you'll be much better off and you'll be much more likely to get wiped up. Because if your mentality is right and your logic and your decisions is right, then you're going to be much more pleasant to date from the men that got their shit together.
Absolutely. And they don't understand that they are competing for the wrong types of men. They competing for the very men they complain about.
True.
You competing for the very men you complain about, the ones that only want sex, the ones that only come at you with money and try to smash, the lames. These the guys that you are throwing out the bait to. Because like I said, for a man of value, he gonna see that bait and be like, that's not wife material bait right there.
But he might still hit follow. You know what I'm saying?
Hit follow? Oh, I follow plenty of hoes. I like titties.
We all do.
Come on, man.
That's one of the best parts of Instagram is being at like something that we used to have to drive to the mall, go to the skating rink. You have to put yourself in positions where you spending money in order to see women where they looking very attractive. And social media, that's one of my favorite parts of social media. You get to see women for the most part looking their best, and if you like looking at women, it'll always be there, as long as you got the self-control to not slide in the DM.
Yep. And you know what's crazy? Women don't understand that about men. That men can compartmentalize women, right? Because for most women, in order for them to pay a man some type of attention like that, they typically like him or something about him. For men, we don't necessarily have to like you like that. We just like looking at titties. Or even a little bit. We just like looking at titties. That's it. I don't have no feeling towards you or feel no type of way towards you. These women will follow Morris Chestnut, man, and be,
but you know,
Morris Chestnut.
But see, is a large part of that is because of this assumed value that they give a like. You know what I mean? Like you liking another woman, it means this, it means that. It's like, no, the fuck it don't. It meant I liked what I saw on that picture at that particular time. But a lot of them place this value on stuff that men don't equate.
But that just shows a lot of these women's insecurities, because you have some women, you go out with women, they don't even want you looking at another woman, even looking another woman's way, because you with her. I should be the only one he looking at.
You gotta, long as you can spot that mentality in a woman with that perspective early on, you good to go. Yeah, you can keep it moving.
I put that in my notes right here, man. I'm like, hey, that attention. I think women look at it like you said, those likes and stuff like that. They look at it different than men. You know what I'm saying? They place that attention up here. That's why they complain so much about their men liking pictures, because they feel like that type of stuff is way up here with attention, where a man is like, hey, man, ain't that big deal to us. I just like the titties. It ain't no big deal. I'm not trying to keep it scrolling.
Most of the time, you're not even thinking nothing of it. You just like it to keep it scrolling.
That's right. Like, it is what it is. I saw them chocolate, them big areolas look like plate. I had to sit there and look at it. Like, let me double tap this.
Yes, I mean, social media, obviously it can get you in trouble if you lack self-control, or if a person is unhappy. Like, we talk about that all the time. A person is frustrated with their situation, not getting the sex they desire, they're going to get it somewhere. And social media puts you in contact with so many other outlets or opportunities to get it, whether you paying for it directly, indirectly, or whether you just have the skills to get somebody to want to rock with you on your own. It takes effort to be able to ignore those type of things. And a large ability comes with guys that have already had success with women. Let's keep things rolling, man. We got a couple more minutes before we take our break. So I wanted to try to get to this other video that I saw had went viral, where a lady kicked people out of her baby shower if they didn't actually bring a gift. Let's take a look.
Ladies and gentlemen, earlier Tia got a very special announcement for y'all right here, right now. I'm gonna give the mic to them. Let's go.
All right, so first and foremost, thank y'all all for coming. Appreciate y'all. Definitely got to give a shout out to everybody that played a role in this.
Not everybody, because some people came and didn't even bring a gift. Say something, because this kind of gives me wedding vibes. At my wedding, a lot of people came, but they didn't bring a gift. So if you came to the baby shower and you didn't bring a gift, you can leave.
She didn't mean that.
No, I meant it. I meant it, Pam.
It's the baby hormones.
It ain't no hormones.
She didn't mean that.
I meant that. I meant exactly what I said. So if you didn't bring a gift, you can get up and go. I said what I said. Yeah, I did.
That's what I'm saying. It's the baby hormones. All right. She didn't mean that. That's exactly what I said.
I said what I said.
All right, now I can understand why she feels that way. It costs a lot of money to host a function, especially to host something nice. And the common courtesy is you're not supposed to show up at something that somebody puts together empty-handed. If I show up at your crib and you invited me to come through, I'm gonna bring a bottle. I'm gonna bring something for us to sip on, something. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna bring something. And so a baby shower is the same thing. Now she seemed like she was frustrated because she mentioned her wedding. People just showed up at the wedding, didn't bring no gift or nothing. man, that's tacky. You know what I mean? At least in my opinion. So I can understand her reaching that level of frustration. But I think that was a bad look overall. What y'all think?
Well, I'm gonna focus on somebody completely different, and that's her husband. All right.
Why you say that?
Because if you see the video what she did when he was talking, she
Yep.
snatched the mic out of his hand so that she can talk. That lets me know, and he stood there. That lets me know that he's a beta male and she runs the house. She runs the house and she runs him, because ain't no way you're gonna be able to disrespect me in front of people like that. No way you're gonna have that in you to do that to me unless I'm a beta male. She ain't got no respect for that man. That's why she went out there and embarrassed both of them in front of everybody, because a man that's got his thing under control, he gonna say, baby, look, it's all right. We'll handle it later. This is not the part. This is not the time.
Not the place.
To be doing all that, or the place to be doing all that is too much. And she definitely is not gonna snatch the mic out of his hand in the middle of him talking. Like, bruh, you cannot have certain things, but this is what you get when you get these here alpha women, and you are a beta male. She runs you and disrespects you in public. He weak as I don't know what for that.
Yeah, no doubt. But clearly, it was good enough to put a ring on and marry her, and it was good enough to have a baby by.
Because he a beta male.
But everybody that get married don't mean that the dude made a smart decision. It don't mean he was a solid dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people get married that shouldn't be married. Exactly.
But you know what? Maybe the way she did it could have been a little different. I don't necessarily have a problem with what she had to say, because that's tacky. So whether you go to a wedding, a baby shower, or just like you said, go to somebody's house and come empty-handed. Like, I guess we all brought up the same way. Never come to somebody else's house empty-handed. I've been
at the minimum a gift card. You know what I'm saying? Like,
exactly.
I'm a parent, so but my wife has been hot at that. Like, people show up to the birthday party and don't bring nothing. But she didn't make a scene like that. She just don't invite them next year. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you can handle it in a way, and you take note of it, like you had, like
exactly. Because like if you invite me somewhere, I'm thankful. So if I'm gonna come somewhere, I'm gonna make sure I bring something. And for what it's worth, I'm not even gonna bring a cheap gift. I'm gonna bring at least something that's with $100 gift card, or something that's $100 worth at the minimum, if not more. That's just me.
I get it. I understand it, but it's just a certain way to handle certain things.
Absolutely.
And to me, that's not the way to do it, especially disrespecting your husband like that in front of people. That's just not gonna fly.
And it killed the vibe of the whole baby shower. You know what I'm saying?
Because
it's right.
You saw the DJ. The DJ was just like, "Hey, I'm gonna head off to the side."
How can you have a function after that? After something, you create that much animosity?
Bro, you can't. You can't.
All right, man. Look like we up against the clock. We about to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll be getting into our topic of the night. Don't hate the player. Y'all tuned into the Hold a Husband podcast, and we'll be back in a moment. Hi, I'm relationship coach and author Terry Duran, and I am pleased to announce that my book, It's Not That Complicated, is finally available as an audiobook. So if you don't like to read, or you just don't have time to read a paperback book, this audiobook is perfect for you. You can listen to it while you're in your car, while you're at work, etc. In the book, I break down how husband material men think and operate in regards to sex, love, and relationships, and I provide real quality insight on how husband material men approach dating. The audiobook is available on audible.com and on iTunes. All you have to do is go to one of the websites and search for my name, Terry Duran. Go download your copy today. All right, everybody, welcome back to the Hold a Husband podcast. Tonight's episode is titled Don't Hate the Player, and we have a special guest. We have my man King Dre on the line. What's going on, bro?
What's going on? How y'all doing? How y'all feeling?
All right.
Oh
Good.
man,
Glad to
we've
have
been
you
looking
on.
forward. We're looking forward to chopping it up with you, man. We be seeing your content and all that. Before we get into the conversation, can you let the audience know a little bit about you, where you from, your age, etc., so they can get to where you coming from?
King Dre. I'm 37. I'll be 38 Friday. Actually, I'll be 38
All right,
this
happy
Friday.
birthday.
Happy
Appreciate
birthday,
that.
man.
Appreciate it. I'll be
Fellow
38.
Virgo.
Yeah. Virgin Virgo. You know how it go.
Virgin
But
Virgo.
yeah, but I'll be 38 this Friday. Born and raised in Tampa, Florida. So I'm from Florida, Florida guy. And I'm basically a dating slash life coach slash, I like to say game advisor, because although I coach guys on dating and stuff, I'm more so focused on, giving them the tools that they need so they don't get hurt and take advantage of. Not necessarily, walking. I do give dating advice here and there, but my main thing is equipping them with things so they're not taking advantage of and they're not getting circles ran around them, because nowadays it's they're ruthless, and a lot of guys are not equipped to deal with what's going on today. So that's why I come in at.
Okay.
Well, it's definitely a need for that. You know what I mean? Like, you don't realize it when you growing up and you learning through trial and error. But the lessons that you learn about women, about dating, about sex, and all that. I always thought everybody was doing it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I thought everybody was peeping game and learning and having success. But it wasn't until I actually got on social media that I realized there's a big gap between the guys that are having success with women and the ones that are not. So it's interesting to see you giving your perspective where you schooling the guys, because most people are focused on, talking to the women, for lack of a better term. My first question to you, I wanted to ask, how do you define a player, or what are the criteria for a guy to be considered a player to you?
For me, and I come from a certain type of world, so it always meant a guy who was just doing his thing and doing it the best that he can do, being successful at what he do. Now, a byproduct of that is women like you. But if you was let's say you was in the street and you had the sack or whatever, or you was doing your thing, be like, oh, shout out to him, he a player, or if you was a pimp or whatever you was doing, if you was good at it, and you did it the right way and not cross people and not steal from people and not do dirtbag shit, and you did everything with integrity, we called you a player. It's just basically what the young kids call real niggas, basically, But the byproduct of that is, being successful with women as well. So you throw that in there in the mix too. So that's what it always meant to me, and where I come from is,
Right. Yeah, see, I take the player and you're right, it's from a different aspect of it, like in the streets doing your thing and all that type of thing. They kind of label you a player, and in relationships, I think a player is just a dude that's straight up with women and tell them, hey, I got other women. Right. I like other women. This is how I roll. You can roll with it if you want, or you can beat it. That's right. You know what I'm saying? A player gonna tell you what the game is,
straight up,
game, and be straight up with you, like you said. You know what I'm saying? So that rolls over into the relationship space as well, when you being straight up with chicks and letting them decide what they want to do with you.
Yeah, if you cheating and lying and doing all that, you ain't no player. That ain't nothing like that. That ain't nothing player about that. I think. Yeah, I think media put a negative connotation. And women kind of always ran the media, especially like in the 90s and shit. And so, they made this narrative of what that was supposed to mean, but that's not what it means. That's not never what, you're just playing on women and shit like that. You just a guy who play on women, but a player was a dude who did his thing and did it the right way and was 100 with people.
Yeah, see, I always focused on giving an authentic male perspective on, on dating and relationships, because to have success from a male perspective, you don't have to be the best, you don't have to be the tallest dude, you don't got to have the biggest dick. You just simply got to understand and pay attention to women and learn the game, for lack of a better term. And so I always took great, great pleasure in learning on how to have success with women, because you need a dude like that in the crew to set shit off. You know what I'm saying? Walk up to crowds of chicks.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like to just finesse the situation and make it to where it's a fuck friendly environment. So that was always my goal when I was with my people, when I was single. And even now, you know what I'm saying? Like me and my wife, when we have functions, I try to make it to where my partner's gonna be able to smash some of the chicks to come. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I'm throwing alley-oops left and right, because that's just how I roll.
Right. And next time I'm Houston, now you gotta invite me to one of those events.
I love playing that role though. I love playing that role, man. The setup, man. Like, it ain't nothing like it, because they didn't have the personality to walk into a crowd of women like that and go talk to them. They were scared. So I love playing it. And then I go, and then here they come. Hey, we with him. We with him.
Right.
So, hey, man, but it shapes you, though. That type of stuff shapes you as a man later on. So, Dre,
absolutely.
Where did you learn your game at? Was it trial and error? Did you go through a lot of stuff, what I call the whole phase, where you dealt with all these different women, or did somebody kind of teach you along with it?
It was all that. Like he was saying, like, you know, my motivation initially, you know, we come up listening to Snoop and Too Short and all that shit, and you think you that. I remember reading, I was in 7th grade and I read Luke's book, As Nasty as They Want to Be. I got a copy of this book somehow. 7th grade, I read this book. I was like, damn. Then I was watching like pimp shit. So you always aspire to be good. But I remember going to high school, you know, because when I was in middle school, 8th grade, my 8th grade year, we kind of ran the school. Like me and my little crew of dog, we kind of ran the school, but it was when you get to high school, it's a different ball game, because them niggas selling dope and got tattoos and gold teeth and all this shit. And then you got the athletes and shit. Can I curse?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
All right. Yeah. So, you know, I was like, damn, I'm not no athlete, because I got hurt. So I couldn't play sports. You know, I wasn't in the streets like that at that time yet. You know, I was just a regular average kid. So it's like, I got to figure out how to compete. And I realized then that the way that I compete was I needed to be good with women and get their mind. So, you know, I had this, I had the situation with this chick, right? I'm gonna try to make it shorter. I had the situation with this chick that I was trying to get. I couldn't really get her like that. I was doing all the wrong shit. I had a girl too at the time, but you know, and I was already having sex, but it was just one, I really wanted this chick. And so I remember doing like a bunch of simp shit, right? I was basically in the friend zone, bro. Like when you really think about it, you know, I remember doing all this little punk ass shit, and it wasn't working.
You gotta go through it though.
Her dude was this dude, gold teeth in his mouth, tattoos on. He was one of them, right? So I remember walking home one day. I'm like, damn, man, I'm trying to figure this shit out. My pops wrote me a letter from prison. I ain't seen my dad in like 10 years because he was in prison.
Wow.
Or talk to him, and I was just like, he was like, oh, what's going on? I was like, look, fuck all that. This is bitch that I like. What do I need to do to get her? And that's what. Nah, for real talk, bro. Real talk. That's where it started. I'm gonna interview my dad one day, but that's where it started. That's where it started, and he taught me all of the toxic shit, because you gotta think he was young too at the time, you know.
In the streets,
yeah. So he taught me all of the toxic shit to do, and so as a 15-year-old kid, I ate that shit up, and I just started, you know, I started using it. You know, and that's what our relationship was. Now, I believe that he taught me that like that because that's what I wanted to know. And I felt like that was his way of like bonding with me, because he had missed out on my whole life. He had been gone for so long. So I felt like, you know, that was his way to, I guess, bond with me. But we would just go back and forth about the game. So, you know, then I started, what I set out to do, I was able to do. Because again, I wasn't the toughest nigga. I wasn't the best dressed. I wasn't the you know, the athlete, the jock, or the super thug. Like I sold my little weed to the Mexicans, but it was nothing like that. You know, just regular shit. So, but once I was able to do that, I was able to compete. Once I was able to learn like little manipulation and, you know, head games to play on chicks. So,
So at what point was it just you growing and becoming more mature, or was it a specific event that made you change your mindset and want to be more authentic or take a different approach than that?
My kids. So I'm doing the fuckboy shit my whole life, my whole 20s, and I got out of school, started doing the street shit, and so with that come the money, and so you just running around, doing everything the wrong way and shit. And so I had my kids. Right after I got out of prison, I had my kids. And once they started like responding to me, and that was like how I was doing their mom, I wasn't like beating on her or like, you know, being verbally abusive, but I was just
being
like,
a hoe.
Basically,
you know, phase man.
Yeah.
And her mental state was affecting my children. Like you could see it because I'm with my kids every day, so you could see as my kids are starting to grow and be 2 and 3 years old, you can see, and she ain't even look the same. And I started feeling bad about that. Then I had a daughter. I had a daughter, and this is what led me to be kind of more mature once this started happening.
Okay.
I had a daughter, right? And it was a situation to where both of them it was like a love triangle type of thing. And one day
between
I was like
the mom and the daughter,
my boy's mom and my son's mom. And so I was like 25 years old. Like 25, 26 years old. You know, at the top of my shit, I think I'm just king shit. And it kind of blew up on me, and I was like, you know what? I'm tired of, because it's starting to affect the way that I'm moving outside of that. All this stress and shit. So I was like, you know what? I'm done with this lying shit. So I called both of them to my crib. I was like, dude, this is what it is. I'm not y'all ain't gonna be doing the beef and shit. That's out, because I don't, you know, y'all gotta represent me. And I'm not for fighting and having chicks fighting in the streets. That's out. And y'all not gonna stress me out, you know, because I'm not gonna deal with none of y'all if y'all stress me out. Now, this is what I want to do. And when I told them what I wanted to do, they were still both willing to deal with me. And I was like,
wow.
Okay.
That's something gotta be like that, man. But let me ask you a quick question. So her physical appearance and her mental state and all that stuff was being affected, and you could see it.
You could see it. She didn't even look the same.
Do you believe that was because of your behavior?
A part of it. Okay. A part of it, yeah, because I was doing it. You gotta think too, like, I'm young, I'm getting a lot of money, and you know, the hoes is coming. So I'm going out, I'm lying and doing all this shit and going out of town with hoes and like, you know what I'm saying? But I'm lying about it. Yeah, I'm doing the most, but
and
I'm
she
lying
know you lying.
It. And she know I'm lying, but she not gonna go nowhere because she ain't got
the
to worry about that. Yeah, she ain't got to worry about it, right? And it's not that I'm like intentionally like trying to hurt her and shit. I'm just trying to live my life. Like I'm just trying to, you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I started to see like how that stress was like wearing on her. And like, again, she didn't even look the same. But then it starts to trickle down on the kids. They started like,
they could feel,
you know, you could see them acting out and shit. And so that's what I started. That was a spark to kind of like, I kind of got to slow this shit down. I don't know what I got to do, but I got to slow this shit down. And then when that situation happened with my daughter's mom, I was like, okay, boom, here it is. This the life, being more mature and doing things the right way.
Yeah.
Yep. King Dre, I got a question. Got a question for you. And I'll preface my comments to say this, that like, as far as relationships, one of my favorite concepts, I love listening to your stuff. Man, I got friends that listen to you and talk glowingly about you. But I wanted to ask this. What are some of the biggest mistakes you see men make, and what's the best advice you can give to the men?
In relationships or just in general?
Yeah, as it relates to women, when it comes to dealing with women in general.
Well, as far as it's two, as far as in the beginning, what a lot of guys do wrong is when they meet a girl, because like he said, most guys don't think like how we think. Like most guys ain't like that, like I thought, right? So a lot of guys just don't know. So what happens is a lot of guys, when they meet a girl, they excited about her, and women know how to play the game. A lot of them, you know, even instinctually. So what they'll just pour everything into it if it's promising. After, you know, girl getting them some consistent ass for like a month, then a guy like, oh, she the one, and they go to pouring everything into the chick, right? But they not aware that, okay, the reason she gave you some airtime is because this dude over here fucking up and shit, and so now she just threw herself back on the market, right? That's happened when a woman give you some airtime. If you meet a woman and she's like available, somebody somewhere fucked up. It's very rare that you meet a woman just coming off of celibacy like that. So a lot of guys don't realize this. And so what happens is they throw all their eggs into this shit without making the woman kind of earn her spot in his life. And then they get so invested. Here come baby daddy. I miss you. I need my family in 3 weeks.
And she gone.
In 3-4 months. And she out of there. Yeah. That's the most common problem. That's the most common problem that guys have. It's just that, you know, or the guy that the douchebag that was, you know, he miss her now, or he get a slow night, so he hit her up like, hey man, I'm gonna do right, and it's over for the dude that don't know no better. You know, that's the most common problem, one of them. And then in relationships is guys getting complacent, you know, and I even had that problem, just getting complacent and, you know, falling off your horse, you know.
You know, they I noticed that, and that's why I don't creep in girls' DMs. You know what I'm saying? I be telling Terry them, like, I don't even DM chicks, you know what I'm saying, like I did back in 2012 or when they first came out with DMs. I don't know when it was. I don't even do it like that. I let a woman give me choosing signals to come at me, for me to go at her, because a lot of these chicks out here just be looking for some quick attention because they man done did something. Because I done gave some of them some attention, and then dude come back and act right, and now she gone.
And she gone.
I ain't gonna send you no money. I ain't gonna pay none of your bills. I ain't gonna do none of that. I'm gonna just sit back and play it cool.
Give you some basic combo.
Yeah,
but you don't lose.
See,
if you're a guy that can get women by being authentic, then it is cost effective, because you can just live your normal life and you ain't having to do no extra shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, well, not no extravagant stuff. If you normally go out to eat or normally go out to buy drinks or kick it or whatever, then if you got a female with you, it's just adding a couple more dollars to what you was already gonna do. You know what I mean? Like, so I always looked at it like when I was single, when I was with my partners, it's always cheaper if we can link up and do it as a group. You know what I'm saying? Like, so whether that's a kickback, a barbecue, hey, I'm gonna bring some beer, you bring some Crown, I'm gonna bring some weed, you know what I'm saying? Like some shit like that, to where you minimize the cost on everybody and create an environment that, like I said, is fuck friendly. You know what I mean? Like, everybody start going through their phone, hitting up hoes they fuck with. They got cute friends, roommates, and you just work off the synergy of the vibes from your people. When you got on social media, what are some of the biggest problems you see with all these relationship gurus and experts on social media?
Well, I try not to be honest, I try not to I try not to pay attention to what people do. I mean, I do study competition or what you consider competition. It's not like I don't like anybody. It's just like, okay, we going after the same type of market. But I do think the biggest thing I see with men and women, gurus, is it's easier to sell people smoke. It's easier to make them. If you make more money.
Do you mean like pander? Do you mean pander to them?
Yeah, basically pandering to make, you could make more money doing that, but that's not the right thing to do, because you know, it's people having real problems and shit, and then when you doing things and you have the tools to help them, but you just don't, and in the name of $1, like that, I believe that's some bullshit. And men and women do it. They do it on the men's side too. Men do it to other men, and women do it. Now you got the women doing it now. These hoes. Go ahead.
No, as I'm saying, from what I see, there's a level of integrity to your platform, and you're not willing to compromise that just for $1.
Is that nah? Because I know how to make the money already. Without doing that, I know how to make the money. So it's not, you know, and I just feel like I was blessed with the ability to do this, man. And you know, my life could have been way worse, you know, coming from where I come from. I'm not gonna fuck over God like that. Basically, I'm not going to use my platform to do some bullshit. So I'm gonna just do the right thing, and you know,
that's what's up, man.
Yeah,
that's a big thing. You know what I mean? Like, because I often think about that too. Like when I see other people, like you said, your competition, the ones that pander make the most money, sell the most books, and have the biggest platforms. And so it's like, damn, man, I'm being penalized for keeping it real. I'm being penalized for telling women how real husbands think and operate. What the things women do that actually cause a man to fall out of love or stop fucking with him. You know what I'm saying? Like, even though it's the most beneficial information, because that's the most crucial shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, but it don't make women feel good, and it's so hard in contrast to the pandering that they make it seem like you hate women by telling them what they doing wrong or what they doing that cause problems with men.
I never seen a dude pandering to men though.
Yeah, they do it all the time in my. They do it all the time.
What do you mean by that?
seen
Because
that
I
either.
always said that was impossible. What do you mean pandering to men?
Like, so I'm in a space to where I coach men too. So I'm aligned, not aligned, but I'm in a space with a lot of these guys, and they do this whole red pill shit.
Okay.
You know, all of
The
this shit.
manosphere.
Yeah, all that bullshit, right? And let me not do it. Let me not say it like that, because if there's anything that's helping men get out of the hole, I'm all for it. But a lot of it is basically pandering. Like, you'll have these guys, they be married, bro. Married the last 10 years, and they telling guys, don't get married. The court system is this, that. Bitches ain't shit. You know, they're gonna leave you for. They just speak to pain. You know, they speak to pain, and it's like, oh, you know, you a king. It's no, it ain't no. You know, like I did a video today about, go look in the fucking mirror. You know, you want a bitch. Excuse me. You want a woman to commit to you. Go look in the fucking mirror and check your bank account. Go walk around your house. Go check your emotions. Can you do this? Can you do that? That shit ain't free. But a lot of these guys be like, oh, you know, they the devil, and it's basically like male feminism. So yeah, that's a lot of that in this community.
Yeah, people ask me about that stuff all the time, and like I'm one of the people. One of the things that kind of differentiates me is I've been married now 18 years. So even when I got in, started giving advice, I was already married 13, 14 years. So that kind of gave me the credibility to where they couldn't be like, well, you ain't even got a wife. You know what I'm saying? Like, they try to discredit you or whatever.
They do me that all the time.
Yeah, they me all the time. Hey, you married? I could. I just don't want to be.
Exactly.
Personally, I don't want to be. You know, it's not it's not.
You gotta want it. If you don't want it, then you're not gonna do what it takes to make it work. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it ain't. And I recently did a podcast where they asked me a question. If I was divorced and I was in the world today, how would I would search for a wife? And I'm like, man, I wouldn't get married again. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah. But it's not because I just hate marriage. It's because my life would be so lit as a single man, it wouldn't be worth it. And I already got my kid. You know what I'm saying? I ain't having no more babies, so I don't have, my desire to have a family is gone. And that was the reason I was willing to get married. So I definitely understand why there are a lot of guys that are shying away from marriage. But so what about the guys like you, SD, the guys that are still interested in getting married? Why you think that seems to be such a small population?
Because of the consequences that come from it. Because of the consequences that can come from it. Like I said, I follow red pill dudes too, but they're a little too hardcore for me. Because like you said, I want to get married one day. It's something that I want to do. My parents still married 40 plus years. It's something that I want to do, but I'm also cautious of it. And I don't allow the red pill stuff that I see or what everybody else say to affect me in that type of way, because I got my own mind and I make my own decisions. But I'm not going to be stupid in the process. I know what prenup is, and I know what the consequences of doing it can be. That's why if I do it, I'm going to put things in place where I'm not stuck out here in the cold like a lot of these red pill guys that talk about some of this stuff. So that's how
you know what their problem is, though. You know what their problem is, because they don't got game. You could just tell they don't know what they. You know, a lot of them times them dudes be done. They don't be having no game. They ain't had no game. They got with a bitch. Excuse me. They got with a woman. I know you got a female audience. So I don't want to be disrespectful like that, but you know, it just feel like we in the locker room. So I'm just kicking it, right? So you get you know, these dudes, they get with a woman, you know, and all she gotta do is sit on her ass for 10-15 years. They work, they get her everything. She ain't gotta do nothing but cook. She don't help build nothing. And then when the woman leave after 10-15 years, it's like, oh, you know, these guys you drain because she didn't contribute, right? She didn't add to the pot, right? I always say equity. Yeah, if a woman leave me and take half, she earned it. Period.
Wow. Man, that's the exact mentality that I had. So, like when people ask me about my wife, I'm like, bro, she was with me when I didn't have shit. So if something happened and we did get divorced and we have to split all the assets, I'm cool with it.
Yeah,
like,
she helped build it.
Yeah. So it ain't like. that's
a lot of these
huge,
guys,
bro.
they don't know how to extract the value from women because they don't understand the value that women have, and they don't know how to get this. All they see is sex from a woman, or can she cook, or can she look pretty. And they stay with women like this for 10, 15 years and just pouring into the woman, and the woman ain't even nearly half as invested. So it's just easier for her to walk away and just take it all. That's what be happening to these dudes. And then they get on here and be like, oh, you know, marriage sucks and they're gonna take all this shit. And, you know.
So what do you need to consider, you know, someone giving relationship advice or dating advice credible? Since we're talking about this here.
I believe. I mean, if a person can tell you something that's right, you know, it don't really matter what they're doing on the low. But you know, me personally, I wouldn't. For me to listen to a person and to think that they're credible, it's not about what they show me and can they get a woman or can they have sex. It's the advice that they're giving me, is it holding me accountable at the end of the day? You know, is it centered around, you know, me looking in the mirror? And that's the best advice anyway, you know. But it's always good to deal with somebody that has experience, right? And they could somewhat show some experience. You know, a lot of these guys, though, they be wanting you to like show you every time you get laid and upload. Like, bro, these real women with real jobs.
Wow.
You know,
they want you to hold their hand through the process or something.
Right.
What you mean?
Right. But it's, I always say, nah, they just be like, they be wanting to see stuff like, oh, how do I know you get women? Like, it's like, bro, I've been doing this for 4 years, talking about different shit every single day. That should, for free at that should tell you. You know, but again, a lot of guys want to see certain things, but it's like, bro, I deal with regular women that got jobs and shit. They don't want to be some conquest, some dating coach's conquest on the fucking internet, my dude.
You put on YouTube.
Yeah, that's
like, look, that's my new one right here.
Yeah, they got lives and shit, bro. So,
gotta be private, bro.
Yeah, I would just say, and then like women, when you doing blasting and shit like that women don't be wanting to get freaky with you and shit because they know that, you know, you're a big man.
You learned that in high school, bro.
Exactly. That's
one of the keys to getting laid. You got to create at least a level of trust where she can get freaky with you without being worried about put on blast. Like that's, you know, I hate the dudes that record the dates and record interactions and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like I hate clout chasing. That's one of the things, the negatives of social media. So I don't like that aspect of it, but you're right, man. A dude that would have to post this who I smashed her too, and I smashed her too. Like, bro,
I follow a dude like that, man. And he just hit me up in my DMs, bro. And he was like, and I gave him some game because he a young dude. I gave him some game, like, bro, you gonna run chicks off with what you doing, bro, because he asked. Yeah. So, you know what I'm saying? You got to put some of these dudes up on game, man, because they just don't know. You know what I'm saying? Right. How they look out here and how they going to actually run women off with what they do. So
that history's going to be there, bro.
Yeah, like you get more women if you just chill, man, and just do your thing and be authentic with them. So, but man, one thing that I find to make somebody credible, man, if they not pandering. If what you say, and that's why I liked your page when I started seeing your videos. I was like, all right, dude, kind of solid. I saw one of your videos. You said, if your woman's still posting sexual pics or videos or something like that, she's still keeping her options open or something like that, and she don't really like you that type of way. I was like, he right. I'm gonna hit the follow button because that's real. You know what I'm saying? Because ain't no woman that really respect you and that really like you gonna be out here because they know what that brings. Right. They know that brings sexual attention. Why you trying to get sexual attention? Ain't nobody stupid. It's just like a man posting up all his money and his jewelry up on Instagram. He know what it's gonna bring. It's the same thing, man. So, and
you know, they think I be trying to like down the women when I say that. I'm not trying to. I'm just trying to help guys not be hurt and taking advantage. I don't want guys to, because this is what happens, man. And this is why I started doing what I do in the first place 4 years ago. This is what happens. When a guy get hurt, a young guy get hurt, he make it in his mind, you know what? Fuck all these hoes. I'm about to run circles around these hoes. And so what does he do? He go run circles around a woman. What does that woman do? Fuck these niggas. I got to get these niggas for everything they got. And now you have what you have today, a bunch of women running circles. That's a response from being hurt. The way you see women now, these women now, what they call modern women, is just basically a response from being hurt. You know what I'm saying? So when I do this, I'm not trying to shit on women or nothing like that. But if a guy hit me up and be like, hey man, you know, I feel a certain type of way about my woman or my girl, or quote unquote, and she got, you know, cleavage on her stories and shit, I gotta tell him the real. Like the reason that she's doing that is because XYZ.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
man.
So
sometimes it ain't gonna be pleasant. Like I don't like when people don't come asking me for my opinion, what I think about your situation, if you don't really want to know what I think about the situation. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, exactly.
Like, see, I'll tell it to you respectful. I ain't gonna try to humiliate you or nothing, but it is what it is. You know what I mean? Like when you're talking about a lot of this stuff. So in my opinion, like you said, the lack of pandering. If somebody's giving some advice and it represents what I see in the real world, the situations I've experienced in dealing with different people or the common things that happen in romantic relationships, then that has credibility to me. Like the things that will lose credibility though is if everything you say is only talking about toxic men or the men that we already got problems with.
Don't forget your crown, queen.
If everything you say is talking about how things should be, how this utopian world and how like bro, I don't got time to focus on this fakeness. You know what I'm saying? Like let's talk about real people with real problems that make mistakes. You know what I'm saying? Like and deal with real issues. So
man,
that's like,
but you know, that's what I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, but your realness is one of the reasons we reached out about coming on the show.
I appreciate that, bro. I really do appreciate that. That means a lot to me.
Hey, man,
you know, they swear I'm trying to, you know, bring the world down, but I'm just trying to make it a better place. Man.
Yo, in your own special way. That's it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's all it is. But
I think the stuff that you say is very actionable to people. So if people take the advice, I think it'll help a lot, especially with the men. I think it'll help them.
Yeah. And at the end of the day, if what women don't understand is if the man's solid, you're gonna be solid. If I'm teaching men to be solid and get your shit together, you benefit from that because he's gonna give that to you anyway. You understand? But this the thing. This the thing. Now that when he on his shit, you got to get on your shit because he ain't gonna fuck with you if you ain't on your shit. So that be their problem.
Also facts. Yeah.
Hey man, that's what I'm trying to do right now. I'm trying to get my son just went through his first heartbreak. You know what I'm saying? And he like, you know what I'm saying? He 23, man. So he like, yo, dad, I'm about to be out here. And I'm like, yo, you gotta chill, man. You know what I'm saying? You gotta chill. He's like, hey, I'm just about to go savage because Shorty did this. And I'm like, okay, you gotta chill out, man, because you know that life is addicting, man, and it has consequences. I had you at 17. That's a consequence of the life. You know what I'm saying? And so, and that's the one of the best case scenarios because it's worst case scenarios out here that you can run into for consequences, man. So I'm trying to steer him up out of that life, but I think a lot of men just got to go through it, especially if they nice looking dudes and stuff like that. But I'm trying to get him, man, not to do it.
So. All right, man. It looked like we up against the clock. We done went a little over our normal time, but it's all good. But before we get up out of here, Dre, man, I wanted you to let the audience know where they can find your content, where they can get your material, etc.
Yeah, you could go to Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. Go to type in King Dreism, KingDreism. That's the social media pages. I post like daily clips on there. But if you want to listen to the long form podcast, it's the Captain Saver Bro Show. The Captain Saver Bro Show on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. That's it.
All right, man. Before we get up out of here, man, I want to give a shout out to my man, Brother Soul Productions, for keeping us laced with our background audio. I want to remind y'all to continue donating to the podcast through our Cash App and our PayPal. JSD, man, I appreciate y'all boys linking up with me so we can get another episode knocked out. Dre, man, we appreciate you taking the time to come chop it up with us, man.
Thank you, bro.
We love to collaborate in the future, bro.
Appreciate you.
This has been another episode of the Ho to Husband podcast, y'all. Thanks for tuning in. Peace.